Hey guys，我是糖糖，Welcome to Candice Chats。如果你正在看这一期视频呢，那么恭喜你，你已经解锁了我这里最新推出的系列糖访访谈的访。在这个系列中呢，我采访了我来自不同行业的好朋友。大家都知道，在过去的2020年呢，我们每一个人的生活还有每个行业都发生了不少的变化。那其实我很好奇，2020年对于每个行业的不同的工作模式和工作关系，到底产生了怎样的影响呢？在这期谈话中，我也许找到了一些答案。那我也非常想要把我这些学习到的知识呢，分享给大家。这些可谓是只有内行才知道的行业动向哦。好，话不多说，那我们看看今天我采访了哪位行业牛人呢？Hi Stefan, how are you doing?
Hey Candice, I'm good. I just came back from a run, which is, I guess, why I'm wearing this outfit. But yeah,
Nice. Of course, you just came back for a run. Of course. It is
I mean,
Stefan.
gotta keep busy, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, well, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do you want to just start by kind of introducing yourself and which industry you're working in, just very broadly?
Sure, thanks, Candice. I think it's my first official appearance on your channel, is it?
Yes.
Um, yes. So hey, I'm Stefan. I know Candice from Oxford. And ever after finishing there, I've been working as a management consultant in Munich. So I guess what we do is, very broadly speaking, we help different industry clients solve problems, all the way from sort of optimizing their supply chain via digitizing their business models, via helping them sort of when they're in financial trouble and sort of making sure they don't run out of cash.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So this series of interview I'm doing is really looking at, the changes that 2020 has brought to your industry and maybe your company or ways of working and all that. So can you share maybe two major changes you have felt throughout 2020 because of everything going on in the world?
Sure. I mean, obviously, for our industry, there's been a lot of change, right? I guess first of all, I think what we have to say is that we're quite fortunate in the sense that I don't think many people in our industry have lost their jobs or things like that, and you can do some of the work we do from home quite well. So I think, I mean, shouldn't be complaining too much from that perspective. But I mean, there's been a lot of change, right? So I guess the most obvious one just being that the way we typically work is we go to our clients, we work together in mixed teams of our company and the client's company, to really get to the problems they are trying to solve and find the best solution together with them rather than just, for them. And obviously has changed a lot, right? So it's that basically traveling has become more or less impossible, especially sort of early in 2020 and late in 2020. Yeah, I mean, all of that travel aspect is gone, and obviously all the sort of co-working aspects with your team and with the client team are gone as well. So I think these are sort of like quite different and quite fundamental changes to the way that we work.
Yeah. I mean, do you think this in a way like pushed your industry to transform into like a new future way of collaborating and client-facing method, comparing to the old ways of being client-based and client-centric and all that?
That's a very good question. I think we've started to sort of embrace certain options more than we did previously. I think previously quite often the expectation was that, there is a client meeting happening, you have to be there. There is no way you cannot be there.
Yeah.
And I think now for like individual client meetings, I think there'll be a higher willingness to do them via Zoom, via video calls, things like that. And so I think some of it will go back to normal. Like I think the main team is probably gonna still try to be or is going to be client based. But maybe not, 4 days a week. Maybe it's just going to be 2 days a week. And as I said, like maybe not every time you need an expert, you'll actually get them to physically travel.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that will be a good kind of middle place between the old normal and the new normal, right? Okay, so one last question. So for those people that would like to join the consulting industry, what would you say to them if we were to ask you one advice, maybe?
I mean, first of all, I think one good piece of advice is do an internship first.
Okay.
Especially, I mean, now in COVID times, this might be slightly less relevant, but you know, the lifestyle you have as a management consultant is, as I described it earlier, at least in old times, was very different from like a regular 9 to 5 job, right? You would get up at sort of 5 a.m. on Monday, go to the train station or to the airport, go to wherever your client is, basically spend the next 4 days working, and then sort of on Thursday night get back to your private life, let's say. And so, I mean, you know, trying out that lifestyle and seeing if it's for you, and you know, it might just be 2 days a week, but still, you know, it's quite intense. And if someone, for example, has young family, it might just not be something they want to sign up to. So I think that's the one piece of advice for deciding if you want to do the job. For me, it was super helpful to have done an internship. And the second piece of advice, I hear a lot of stories about people preparing like crazy for interviews in consulting, like doing hundreds of cases and all of that. At least for me, I didn't do that. And I think I would have gone mad if I did that. Like go into the interview with a mindset so that you're sort of still curious and interested in the cases that might come up and that you might be asked about, and not completely fed up by having done too many training cases.
Yeah, that's a good point, because then you get to be more of yourself, and it's your potential that the recruiters are looking for, rather than you get this precise answers correct this time, right?
Exactly, right. So I feel like, you know, if you've seen it all and you're just completely bored by it, it shows at the end of the day. If you're still, I mean, obviously you need to have a bit of practice so that you're just comfortable, especially if you come from a non-business background like me. Because it's not something in my degree, I've never done any case studies in that sense. So, you know, you need to get to know the way you have to think about them a bit, but you still need to keep that curiosity and that sort of active engagement that you show in the interview.
Yeah, that's such a good point. All right, that's it. Thank you so much. So guys, if you like Stefan's sharing and you would like to see more of Stefan's stories about consulting and all the exciting travels and client conversations they're having, please make sure you comment so I can invite Stefan back. He's super busy between works and runs, so it's really difficult to get hold of him. But thank you so much. All right.
Thanks for having me, Candice.
All right,
bye.